Mic'd up.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Take. Nope. I've got.
Hey
There it is.
everyone,
I'm on.
welcome to the Highlights from Lowlife show. It is June 4th and we are in Louisville, Kentucky for our annual Lowlifes baseball trip, a trip that we've been doing for the last several years now. Right after the pandemic ended, we decided we needed to do some road trips together to reconnect and experience the ballparks across the United States. And this year, we are excited to be in Louisville, where we will find a Louisville Bats game tomorrow night after some nice whiskey tasting during the day. We're going to go to the Louisville Slugger Museum and check out how they make bats. Then we are off to Cincinnati to see a couple of Reds games and go to the Reds Hall of Fame. We'll be heading up to Cleveland. We'll probably see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and an Indians game, of course. And we finish up in Pittsburgh after potentially visiting the Roberto Clemente Hall of Fame. So that is our 2025 itinerary. And we thought tonight's show, much like last year around this time, should be about baseball road trips and how much we like them and what we've done in the past and what we hope to do in the future. So thanks for joining us. Tonight I'm joined by Marty Brown, Rob Lannerman, and Terry Lee, who's looking away from the camera.
He's got a camera from 1988.
I've got a. We have
So-
some. We
so
have
folks-
some music playing in the courtyard here, so I'm trying to. I was looking around to see if I can turn it off.
It seems like your jam.
Yeah.
So folks, let us know if we're coming through loud and clear, and if we have any kind of echo. We are in close quarters here in the lobby of our Holiday Inn Express. But let's have some fun tonight and talk about our trip. Let's start with Marty. Marty, you were on a similar trip a few months ago, and you came through Cincinnati. Tell us a little bit about that trip.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be here. Having a great time. My family invited me to go on a trip to Cincinnati. My brother-in-law was always a big Cincinnati Reds fan, the big red machine, and always wanted to go to opening day at Cincinnati. So they asked me to tag along, and I didn't pass up an opportunity like that. Sure enough, the schedule came out, and guess who they were playing but the Giants? And it, it, I've never seen anything like that. The Cincinnati had a parade through Main Street, blocks and blocks of people just hours before the stadium. We're out there and partying and just having a great time. And everybody, it's a Midwest attitude. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's just having a blast. And it was a great day. So looking forward to going back.
Great. So I think we'll experience a little bit about what you already saw and get some history. You got to go to the Reds Hall of Fame, so you've got a head start on all of us. But we'll get to learn a little bit more about Reds history and what a great baseball town Cincinnati is. All right, hey Tara, tell us what you're looking forward to on this particular trip.
I think the way it was already started, I was telling Big Juicy that I normally drink about 2 beers a week, and I've already had 5. So I have a feeling the consumption is going to be in a fun way. What am I expecting on this trip? Well, I've never been to Louisville, and I wish I could show you the 5 or 6 different ways to say Louisville or Louisville or Louisville or Louisville. Um, so far, it's about I don't know. What's the temperature? 70?
Yeah,
70,
whatever swamp ass is.
82 with a humidity of about 90. So it's a little warmer right next to the Ohio River. So, hey, Robbie, what are you planning on?
Well, every time we do one of these trips, I have one or two things I'm really looking forward to, and it's other things that become like the folklore of the trip. This year, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, where we're going to the Louisville Slugger Bat Factory, and we'll get some video of us at the Bat Factory. I understand there's a 90-mile-an-hour pitch simulator that we can stand in against, and there's a bat simulator where you can use Ernie Banks' bat or Babe Ruth's bat or Willie Mays, Ted Williams, whatever. You can have a bat that was the style that they made. So I'm really looking forward to all of that kind of stuff at the Bat Factory, and I'm also looking forward to the distilleries we're going to visit tomorrow. Bardstown Bourbon, which makes Bardstown and Green River bourbons, and then of course the Michter's Distillery, where we're going to do a tour tomorrow. And I mean, Michter's is amazing bourbon, so I'm looking forward to that. And then when we get to Pittsburgh, I mean, I've talked about him so many times on the show. Roberto Clemente, very important part of my childhood and my youth. So I'm very much looking forward to going to the Clemente Museum in Pittsburgh. Those are my big deals. Webby?
Cool.
But on the other hand, I heard that they give you a mini bat to take home.
That is correct.
If you have only a carry-on, you don't get to take it home. You can't. So I have a feeling I'm going to be taking about 5 or 6 mini bats home.
I mean, Teddy Bear is here for the first time on one of our trips, and he's got a gigantic suitcase, and only half of it is filled. So I think Brent's going to carry a lot of our stuff home for us.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, I have been to the stadiums in both Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but I have not been to the baseball stadium in Louisville or the new stadium in Cincinnati. So I'm looking forward to checking out the new ballparks and driving this part of the country for the first time in a long time. My folks are from Ohio, so I've been to Cleveland many times in my youth, but it's been several years since I've been back. So it'll be interesting to check this out and see the ballparks.
Webby, let me ask you a question. What's round on the ends but high in the middle?
Round on the ends, but high in the middle. Ohio.
Bingo. I mean, I was afraid you were going to say Marty, but
Now, wait a minute.
All right, guys. For the folks that aren't familiar with the Lowlifes, I wanted to kind of give a quick review of our past trips. And we started these in, 2021? Our first trip was out to Cooperstown. Then we did a trip to St. Louis and Kansas City. Then we did a trip to Chicago and Milwaukee. Saw both the Cubs and White Sox and the Brewers on that trip. I'd like you guys to share your fondest memory of any of our trips. So Marty, let's start with you. What do you remember most about the Lowlife baseball trips as we move into year 5, I guess, 4 or 5?
Well,
Five.
we're showing
5.
stars.
This is
What
5.
We went to Cooperstown, and this was the first trip after the pandemic, and we're get this van, and we're driving from Albany to Cooperstown, and it's our first trip. We all played ball together. We're all good friends. Can we get along together for 3 or 4 days? And you run into Cooperstown, and it was everything you always hoped it would be, with the museum and everything that's involved there. Doubleday field, the small town atmosphere, but big time baseball. The one memory I remember is it's our second or third day, and we were running around, and we're just kind of all piling into the distillery that's literally down the street from the Hall of Fame. And on this out of the street itself is a kind of a little roundabout, not a full roundabout, just a little roundabout, and a brick around the square, and a big flagpole, American flag. This was October, right, guys? In October?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at that flagpole, looking back up the street, and all the fun we've had for 3 days, or the second day or whatever. And I said, for the first time in my life, I thought about not going home. This was nirvana. This was heaven on earth. Now, granted, this was October. I'm sure I would have a different attitude in February when the high is like -4 in upstate New York. But there's been so many places, so many memories, but that one still stands out for me. So, yeah. So.
Cool. All right, Terry, in all of our trips, what is your fondest memory of what we've done?
I think it's the eating and drinking and camaraderie and having just a great time with each other. We're all a bunch of friends related to baseball, and we do baseball-related things. I can tell you after this trip, I'll only have 8 stadiums left to go to.
Oh, look at this guy.
So it's the experience and the fun. It really is.
Yeah.
How about you, Robbie?
Oh, for me, gosh, there's so many. I mean, there's highlights from every trip. I mean, first off, tip of the cap to Sarge, Gary Matthews, who took care of us at Wrigley Field for 2 days. We had back-to-back games where we sat in the second row right behind the Cubs dugout. I mean, how much better does it get than to sit in the second row behind the Cubs dugout at Wrigley Field in Chicago after spending your entire morning at Murphy's Bleachers drinking old style and talking baseball with all the locals? I mean, it's spectacular. But I think the Hall of Fame trip, our first trip out of COVID where we actually all got to be together again, boy, there was something special about that trip. Every moment, whether it was one of those trips, Terry, you actually said it best to me, where it's the only town in America that's got this huge shopping district, and all the wives stand on the curb and the husbands are in the store. And Terry told me that, and which is funny, but when you actually go to Cooperstown, that is 100% the truth. And that trip for us, we spent time as a group. We split off into groups of 1, 2, and 3 people. We took our own, and we all just kept re-emerging back at Cooley's. Let's be honest. If you're in Cooperstown, one must go to Cooley's. We ended up at Cooley's drinking Yingling and laughing and talking and having fun with the locals. And boy, that was super special. I mean, we've had great moments on every trip, but that one's still a standout. No question.
What was the name of the bar around the corner?
Cooley's Stonehouse, which is really just an Irish bar that had cheap Yingling and fun bartenders and fun locals who they're proud of their town, they're proud of what it's about, and I mean, yeah.
Can I piggyback on that a little bit?
Absolutely.
because you mentioned Gary Matthews, and there were two things that happened in Chicago that I would never be able to do in my entire life if it wasn't for Mr. Matthews and the highlights from Lowlifes. One is, Rob mentioned it already, sit in the second row at Wrigley Field behind the Cubs dugout. And the other thing was to dine at one of the most prestigious restaurants, I think, in the Midwest, maybe in the entire country, Gibson's Steakhouse. And it was an absolutely fabulous meal with all of us, a fabulous time, and a place I would never do for myself or or have the opportunity to do. But it was because of these guys, and that's another big memory, and I truly appreciate every part of it.
I agree. Tip of the cap to Sarge, because we got the great round table, like the Al Capone table, basically, at that place, and we got their top waiter. We had the top maitre d' that took care of us the whole time. I mean, everything on that was amazing. So we felt really important for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was a Sarge double whammy.
Yes, it was.
Dang, yeah.
Really took care of us. Thanks, Sarge.
Absolutely.
I guess my favorite memories of what we're doing as a group they surround the fact that we travel really well together.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah,
we don't have a lot of dominating personalities. People kind of go with the flow. They want to try everything related to baseball in a particular town, but at the same time, they're interested in the other non-baseball activities, like maybe stuff that's related to beer or the culture in a particular town. Really thought it was interesting in Milwaukee, we spent time at the National Bobblehead Museum, walked across the street to a brew pub that had an indoor wiffle ball stadium. I've never seen anything like that before.
and let's give credit, Broken Bat Brewing.
Yeah,
Everything at Broken Bat Brewing is baseball oriented.
Like I said, the guys are kind of go with the flow. We do our research. We figure out what it is we want to see in each of the towns. We're pretty good about working on the itinerary together and being able to see each of the different towns very easily. So very, very excited to see those.
You're not talking mute.
So tonight we're here in Louisville, but we don't we can't find our sponsor's beer. So I'm going to let Robbie explain what we're doing instead.
All right, that's good, because I met with the folks from Almanac this week, and of course, Almanac has been with us on every show. You know how we feel about Almanac. It is one of America's greatest craft brew producers. They are incredible. They make incredible beers, and we talk about them all the time. They are in Kentucky. They're just not where we are, which is a huge disappointment, right? Right? But I met with Almanac this week, and we talked about the fact that we were doing the show live from Louisville, and I mentioned about this whole weird thing that the Lowlifes have with Yingling. Because for those of you that are watching on the East Coast, and John Cusack in particular, yes, I understand that Yingling is, just an ordinary pedestrian beer. But believe me when I tell you this, in California, we have nothing that is at the same price as Bud Miller and Coors that is as good as Yingling. So when we go on these trips and we run into Yingling out here, it's amazing. So I was talking with the guys from Almanac, and I said, hey, we're going to probably be drinking Yingling because that's what we do on these trips. And the Almanac guys all said, yeah, I get it. So we love Almanac. Given the choice, we're going to drink Almanac, but I'm going to tell you what, there is no better bargain beer in this country than Yingling. the oldest beer in America. We're proud to be sponsored by Almanac, where we wear our stuff, proudly on our sleeves. But boy, oh boy, if we can't find it in Kentucky, we're turning to Yingling, and Almanac would say, tip of the cap, you're doing us proud. So that's what we're doing tonight. But rest assured, when we get back, we're going to be drinking a lot more Almanac. So anyway, thank you, Almanac, for understanding our love for Yingling. And if you're following us on TikTok and Instagram, you're going to see a lot of Yingling pictures. You'll understand why.
And hey, Robbie,
Yes, sir.
we're going from the oldest beer in America to one of the freshest beers in America.
Oh, we are?
Almanac, one of the newest, freshest beers
I see what you're saying.
in
Okay.
the country.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
good old Giggling is one of the oldest. Is the oldest.
It is the oldest beer in America.
Oldest brewed beer in America.
And those of you in the Bay Area, make sure when you're at the Oakland Ballers game, the Oakland Bees, you're having the Almanac Ballers Love Hazy IPA. But in the meantime, we're going to drink Yingling and bring a bunch home.
All right. Hey,
Oh, Brent's here and Marty wants to talk.
yeah. Hey,
So I'm sorry.
so
not Brent.
Marty, I think you're muted.
Teddy bear.
And now a word from our newest.
Yes.
From-
Brent, take a
This is my
seat.
first trip here.
Brent, take a seat.
Let Rob introduce you
All right.
properly, because you are the teddy bear of our callers.
So on his first trip with the Lowlifes is Brent Teddy Bear Tetlow.
Who he has to pick up a lot of bar tabs.
Yeah. So Brent is not a rookie to baseball road trips, and I was hoping Brent could spend some time telling us about the baseball road trip that he recently did with a good friend of ours, Dave Coleman, who recently passed away. Brent, could you tell us about that?
Oh, when we went with Dave and his wife Laura. Yes. Dave, fantastic athlete, good friend, and unfortunately he got hit with a disease that put him in a wheelchair. And Dave's ambition was to get to all the baseball stadiums that were there. And we went to Philadelphia, Washington, and we didn't get to Florida. He got tired, had to go back home. But it was a fantastic time in the Phillies Stadium. They put him up in a suite. All of us that were there watched a fantastic game, went to extra innings. It was a warm day there, and at the suite area, it was still a little warm. I went up to one floor up and went to the Hall of Fame area where they had the Phillies trophies and things like that. I texted him down there. I said, Dave, they've got carpet on the floors and air conditioning up here. Come on up here and get cooled down. He hit the elevator and got cooled down a little bit. But it was a fantastic time. Sent these guys some pictures from the stadium with my first Yingling because we looked high, low, and under the bed. Could not find Almanac anywhere. But we tried. But this is my first trip with the Lowlifes, and it's been fantastic so far. We all met there in Louisville at the airport and checked into the hotel. We've already made some friends. Thank you, April, for hoisting us there at the sports bar and pouring us this Yingling on tap. It's fantastic on tap. Not bad in the bottles either, but it's been a great time. I'm looking forward to all the rest of our antics. It's all about the hang, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, just don't tell your doctor about how much we consume.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, he asked me how many drinks we had, and we tell him like 3, and he says, "That's it, 3? Even beers?" He said, "Oh, we're counting beers too." Oh, that's different then. Only had 2 drinks.
Hey, so Brent, could you tell us a little bit about the logistics of negotiating these baseball stadiums with Dave Coleman when he was in the wheelchair?
Dang it! I am sorry, Robbie. I can't hear you.
So tell us a little bit about.
He said, how are the logistics of negotiating a stadium with Dave Coleman in a wheelchair?
Oh, actually, it was pretty fun. They gave us the free VIP treatment when he came wheeling up in the wheelchair. They moved him over to the side and they checked it out a little bit and right on through. They gave us preferential treatment, ahead of the line stuff. And matter of fact, we went to the Phillies game. It was a nice day. We had shorts and t-shirts on, and we get up to the security place, and I always point to my left knee and said, I got a left knee thing. He says, okay, we need somebody over here to check him out. He was busy. He says, let me see your scar. Oh, you're good. Go on in. But with Dave, there were times where in Washington there was the best seats we could get was kind of obstructed with the wheelchair. So there was an area for the wheelchairs, but there was like two people in there. So we wheeled him over there, and the little usher person said, look, you can't come in there, you don't have a ticket for that. He says, well, we said we were ADA when we got the tickets. He says, well, you can't do that. He said, look, let us come in here. If somebody comes to take the seat, we'll move, honest, we'll move. And so anyway, they let him watch that game from that good area. There was nobody else there.
Teddy Bear, would you explain who Dave is?
Oh,
Dave
I'm sorry.
Coleman?
Dave Coleman. He was a Southern California guy. Grew up with a few of our other Southern California buddies, and excellent ball player. He played football, baseball. It's just a heck of an athlete, and he just was one of us when we came down to tournaments. He played on our team sometimes. I remember Palm Desert. I caught him for like I don't know 2 games for like 12 innings, 9 in one and 4 in the other, or 3 in the other, and he had a heck of a knuckleball. He lived down there. He was great. We would meet him down in downtown Disney. He got off work and he would just go to downtown Disney, meet us when we were down there at Disneyland. So he'd let the traffic die down before he drove back up to Arrowhead where he lived. And just a good baseball guy. He kind of got it, just like the rest of us here. He just kind of understood. Yep.
Why was he in a wheelchair?
Oh, he got a MS, and it was just sad. Going from you can do whatever you want to now your muscles just don't react the way you want them to, and it's terrible. But we wanted to make it as comfortable as he could and entertain him as he could, and he was all good. We rented a ADA van, had a ramp. We'd pull out. We had kind of had a routine. We'd get out. We go there. It was.
Is he still with us?
Unfortunately, the day before the Super Bowl, Dave passed away. He's no longer with us now. But we had some good memories. He's always in our heart.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart of a guy,
He is.
and we're going to miss him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's start talking about the future. We are going to do these trips as long as we are physically able
Or alive.
or alive. Yeah. Each of you probably has a different priority on what you want to do on these trips.
I'm just.
If we are planning the 2026 trip today, what is it that you want to do next? Robbie, let's start with you.
All right. Well, I have 2, and one is actually for Marty because Marty's such a great friend. But I feel like, and I personally, I don't really want to do this, but if I have to do it, I want to go with Marty. I'd like to go to Houston, see the Astros, go through San Antonio and do the Alamo because I know Marty and the Alamo would be absolutely amazing. Marty is a huge history buff, and I actually respect that greatly about him. Then go through Frisco and Waco, where they both have minor league teams, and Austin, and then up to Arlington to see the Rangers, and then finish it with Frisco with the Rough Riders. So if I got to take care of Marty, that's the trip I want to take. But if I got to take care of me, I'd like to go to Detroit because I haven't seen the Comerica Park where the Tigers play, and then up to Toronto. And then I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of jonesing to go back to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for me, that would be my choice.
Okay. Okay.
Is Minnesota on that in that area?
Sure, if you skip the Great Lakes.
That's what I said. No.
Is that doable? Is there three? Detroit. I've been to Toronto, but Minnesota. That one's so far
Yeah, and
detached from the others.
Minneapolis is supposed to be a great town. I feel like that would be a lot of fun, but sure, let's throw it in there. Yeah, done.
All right.
Good
All
call,
right.
Terry.
I think
I want to go to the Hall of
future-
Fame.
Future
I want to go. I want to go.
Florida, and
No Florida.
Georgia.
No Florida.
Atlanta.
No
Those three are
Florida.
close together.
Okay. It's Terry's dream, not yours,
Yeah,
Rob.
but I mean, he can be wrong.
Terry could be wrong.
He could be wrong about Florida.
Okay.
I mean, I
So-
don't like bugs that are that big.
So Terry, your choice would be a Florida, Tampa Bay, Atlanta trip. Okay.
And what about the Savannah Bananas at home?
Sort of in the same region, I guess.
I guess the Savannah Bananas at home.
Oh, yeah, there's an interesting thought.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, we like
Same.
to incorporate some minor league games too, which is they're everywhere. So
Agreed.
that could be a possibility as long as it's not too late in the season.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
Tomorrow.
Marty,
Yeah.
what do you think? What is your next dream trip?
I mean, sorry to catch you off guard.
Dream trip.
Dream baseball trip for the group.
It's expensive as hell.
Uh-oh. We're going to Moscow.
New York and Boston. I mean, we're gonna actually mortgage all our properties, as they say in Monopoly or something like that. But
Oh yeah, I'll give you Ventnor Avenue for that trip.
and I'll give you a B&O Railroad because that's
You're gonna give me Baltic, just because it says ball in it.
So
classic baseball cities. But
Yeah, you're not wrong.
so Mets, Yankees, and Red Sox, huh?
Yeah, right.
All right. All right.
I mean, we could slip in a Worcester game and a Pawtucket game.
Oh yeah, and then there's all sorts of
Yeah.
yeah. There,
And guys, if you want to splurge, let's go to Tokyo. You go to 5 stadiums within an hour of each other on a train.
I got a guy that'll have a place in Tokyo. I'm just saying.
Of
Yeah.
course, Robbie's got a guy.
I got
Probably
a guy.
do.
I got a guy.
All right. Well,
Did somebody ask you?
yes, I asked me. I think I'm interested in maybe a closer to home trip. Some friends have seen what we do each year. They live in Southern California, and they've kind of invited us down to take on an Angels, Dodgers, Padres road trip.
yeah.
And this is interesting to me because it could result in some free tickets and access to parts of stadiums that normal fans don't have access to. And of course, other things like perhaps Disneyland or the Gaslamp District in San Diego, stuff like that would be accessible to us. So I'm not dismissing that one yet. I'm thinking that might be of interest as well. So those are all on the table. We can all consider those. So, we're echoing.
That's me.
Yeah. The one guy with a professional
So Rob, let's do
Screen
that one while we're
Actors
saving
Guild
up for the
card.
New York
All
Mets
right,
and the Yankees and the Boston.
this is our own
That
fault.
was me.
It's our own fault. We're trying to do the show in the lobby of the hotel here.
If you look out the window behind me, you can see the beautiful skyline of the Louisville parking garages. Louisville actually looks really brilliant, but where we are, that window doesn't work so much.
So hey, let me give a little pop to mic'd up here.
Yeah.
Again, we are performing this show on the mic'd up app, which is free for you on both the Google and Apple platforms. So download it, and you can sign up really quickly for free, and you can submit questions and comments on our shows and any other shows that are on the platform.
And you can mock Marty's medal that he's wearing,
The You Stink
which is
medal,
like,
yeah.
I mean, in Louisville, that's the equivalent of a clip-on.
Yeah. There it is, the You Stink medal, finishing last place in a golf tournament. So, those of you that are watching, if you would like to leave a question or comment, just hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and you've got 30 seconds to play in a comment to us. You can do this before or during any show that we have. So when a show is posted, perfect. That's the time to chime in on the topic. If you want to know when we perform, we are on here virtually every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. This is episode 92. So you'll get the four of us, the five of us, six, seven other folks are involved in this. And we're always doing some kind of topic related to sports. More often than not, it's baseball. So please tune in. And of course, there are other shows on the app. And one I wanted to spotlight tonight is somebody who has been off the platform for quite some time, but came back with a show today. Bip Roberts. Today, he had a show, former big leaguer, returned with an episode of Bip's Blips. So if you can look in the archives of the app, you can catch his half-hour show. He talks everything baseball. So take a gander at that. And if you'd like to be informed when his next show is, just follow him on the app. You can do that by opening a show and clicking on the gray heart next to the host name. It will change to blue, and now you'll get notified every time there's a show. All right, let's get back at it.
Hey, I want to play one clip. Just came in. There's
Yep.
some other ones, but I want to play this one. Whoops.
This is Bonnie, your number one regular watcher. Number one so much that
Yeah, I regret playing that.
Hey, what would be your loving husband reply?
That was it. Great, because like they would do the baseball, whatever. But this, you know how much a spa costs in Cooperstown? Like, I'm not sure she has a real ID yet, so Toronto's out.
All right, so
Anyway,
so you don't like that idea?
I mean, whatever. I love it, Rob.
All right, hey, we got a few other comments. It looks like Big Juicy
Yeah,
and Teddy Bear and JC have chimed in.
Teddy Bear, who's here and live, decided to call in separately. So let's play that one.
It's my first night with the Lowlifes in
Yeah, so let's give some background on that. Grant, very good friend of ours. Rob?
Are you talking to me? Yeah. What did you ask me? I'm sorry. Oh, Grant was an umpire that took care of us for many, many years in our Lodi baseball tournament. He had an unfortunate accident, which left him partially paralyzed. We were going to be joining him tonight if we had gone to our regularly scheduled Stockton Ports game. But unfortunately, this was the day we were leaving for our baseball trip. So we're going to miss Grant and the rest of the Ports gang tonight. But Grant, we reach out to you and wish you well, and we will see you soon. It's kind of a bummer to us that we weren't able to be with you tonight in Stockton, but we will catch up soon. I promise.
Absolutely. And for every call you got wrong, we forgive you.
Hey, Grant, if you're listening, sorry we missed you at the Ports game tonight, buddy. Hang in there. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, this is guys that play baseball that are missing an umpire. Go figure.
All right. You got a couple other comments in here?
Yeah. Let's go with Big Juicy. Also with us on the trip, but, remember in the high school yearbook when, like, too shy? That's Big Juicy.
One of my favorite memories is
Yeah. So Dave was talking about us crossing the street from the parking lot, going to the Hall of Fame, and it kind of ended up like the Abbey Road cover.
Yeah. We have mountains of pictures of us on this trip where we're just doing things, and we've got there's no script for the pictures. It's just a bunch of pictures that we're now sharing on social media.
And callers, I mean, obviously there's a lot of people listening live. What do you think about Rob's up nose picture angle? Just curious about Weber. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah. I mean, in the words of a Californian, hella better. All right. JC, one of the lowlifes on the show, he left us a message.
JC here from
All right, JC drinking an Almanac True American Lager, which has replaced the Kolsch, although they're going to do a Kolsch as a summer special beer now. But the True American Lager, apparently Americans don't like the word Kolsch. So that's where we are.
All right. I'm hearing from some of our listeners that the playbacks are not coming out at all. We'll try and fix that for the next show. Until then, we'll just describe what it is that people tried to say. All right, folks.
Thanks a lot, mic'd up.
Yeah. We will try to report back to you on the results of this trip, which we're really looking forward to. Again, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh after our visit here in Louisville. So we'll devote a show to all of that, glory that becomes this trip. But until then, we'll wrap this show up, and we'll be coming at you with another show soon. I don't know if we'll have one next week. We might have to take a week off and hit you back up on the 18th. But we'll let you know. If you're following us, you'll get a notification as soon as we post the next show. You guys got anything else to discuss before we sign off?
Just cheers to the listeners. Cheers to Bonnie. And yeah, let's hope everything goes perfect for everybody.
Yeah.
Here, here.
All right, gang. Have a good night. We're going to play it out.
Wait.
Wait.
Thanks to Almanac, who understands the importance of Yingling in our lives. Because without that, Almanac would just be, nothing. But Almanac Brewing understands Yingling for the Californians that we are.
All right. Hey, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Highlights from
Is Yvonne in for
Lowlifes.
herself?
What?
Yvonne?
Highlights
Herself?
What do you mean?
from
She said she's
Lowlifes.
at the emergency room.
Yeah, her potassium got high, so they wanted to
Oh, they're watching.